This is what happens when I have to change my outfit to look like I've been filming on multiple days when really I can really muster up the energy to do this like once every 2 weeks. That's showbiz, baby! So, something pretty awesome happened to me that I haven't actually talked about on the channel yet. I wrote this book starting in March of this year for the past 6 months. I had this idea for this book that just completely hit me like a freight train. Like I got the idea. I was supposed to be working on a different project. I could not stop thinking about this book. I just had to write it and I just had to get it out of my system. I thought I would just write a chapter or two just to get it out of my system and then I could meet my deadline for my other one. It didn't happen. I ended up writing the entire book and I just sent it off to beta readers on Monday. I wasn't able to think of anything else. I drafted the book all the way through. I edited that draft. I wrote 3 drafts of the book and edited it and cut it down from my crazy word count of 240,000 words to now a more respectable 150,000 words. I love that book. I have never loved something that I've written as much as I love this book. And I took to TikTok to market that book. I'd never had any success marketing on TikTok ever, because just They Stay just does really poorly on TikTok, and I do kind of know why, but it does really badly on TikTok, and I just never found it to be an effective place for me to market. But I decided that I was going to try to make some videos like featuring this book, because there are more things in this book that I've noticed that like go viral on TikTok. And so I started making videos about it, and those videos started popping off. I started to get videos with like 25,000 views, 60,000 views, 60,000 views, and that was really exciting. Like people were really, really responding to my premise in a way that nobody on TikTok had ever done before. And then I made a video sharing that I was looking for beta readers, and that video of like my forehead that I filmed like on the couch got 60,000 views. I had 500 people reach out to me wanting to beta read. I was overwhelmed by the amount of interest. It was such an amazing problem to have. I was spending hours a day like in TikTok Messenger, messaging people, adding them to my beta reading list, adding them to my Google group, adding them to a wait list because I couldn't add everyone who wanted to be on there to my beta reading list because having 500 people beta read was just going to be kind of out of hand and crazy. But I ended up with a team of 200 beta readers and absolutely no idea how to handle a team of that size. I had only ever dealt with beta readers like under 10 beta readers at a time. I'd never had 200 beta readers that wanted to read my book. What an unbelievable thing. TikTok is such a powerful platform. It's frustrating when you're trying to hack the algorithm and trying to reach people. It can really feel like you're selling your soul every single day and having people tell you you're not good enough to achieve your dreams when your videos don't get very good views. But when your videos get views, it is extremely powerful and helping you reach readers. So I had to figure out a way to manage a team of 200 beta readers, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how I did that and introduce you to a program that I absolutely love now, which is StoryOrigin. StoryOrigin is extremely powerful. You can do a lot of things on StoryOrigin. This is not going to be a full StoryOrigin tutorial because there are just a ton of things that you can do on this platform, but it is going to be a tutorial on how to set up a beta copy on StoryOrigin and how you can connect with beta readers using this platform. I'm just going to share with you how I'm using it and why it's so powerful and so cool. So the main reason I decided to use StoryOrigin was just because I was going to have so many beta readers in one place, and I needed to figure out how I could organize all of the feedback, and so all their feedback came to me in the same place without them being able to see each other's comments. I didn't want to send out 200 separate Word documents because that was going to be insane and make me want to blow my brains out because I'd have to figure out how to go through 200 documents individually and then compile it all into one spot, and then it was just going to be impossible for me to see everything, and there would be no point in me even getting beta reader feedback because I wouldn't be able to do anything with it. I had considered thinking of something like Google Docs, but I didn't want them to be able to see what each other had commented, because if they scrolled and saw one person hated something, then maybe that would color their opinion of the thing and maybe they would all of a sudden hate it too. So I wanted to keep everything linear, like one beta reader could only see the book, but everything that they typed on the book would just come to me. Enter StoryOrigin. StoryOrigin is a platform that allows you to do a ton of different things. Like you can build websites, you can organize email promotions, you can do custom links. You can also manage your reader magnets for your mailing list, and you can also organize review copies and arcs. All stuff that sounds really cool. I've been so overwhelmed dealing with beta reading and organizing the beta readers that I haven't looked into anything else yet, and I just bought it so that I could have the beta reading feature. Once this craziness is over, I'm going to go explore it in a little bit more depth and figure out how to leverage all of those other elements, because I have some ideas for reader magnets and things that I want to write in this world, so all of that will be managed through this. But the beta reading and the newsletter swaps and website builder and things and direct sales and stuff, all of that comes with a paid plan. So I got a paid plan. I paid $100 for the year. It is also $10 a month if you wanted to pay for it monthly. So very affordable program. So this is my beta copy dashboard. What I did when I wanted to upload a beta copy is I clicked add beta copy. Then I typed in the title of my book. I put in myself as an author. I used some tags. You are able to find beta readers directly through StoryOrigin. They have a database of beta readers, I believe. I did not use that, so I'm not 100% sure how you do that. But because I found them all on TikTok and I had their email addresses and had a way to contact them, I was just able to communicate with them directly. So I put my tags in. Then you're able to decide how you want to divvy up your beta copy sections. The way StoryOrigin works is readers get to unlock a chapter after they read the previous one, and they can leave feedback on the previous one, and then they unlock the next one. So it's kind of a step-by-step reading process. And so these sections refer to whether you want them to unlock a chapter or unlock a scene or unlock an episode or just what you want to call it in your beta copy. So I just did chapter. Then I posted a little blurb about my book, like just telling people what it was about, any additional info. I also put content warnings in this section just so my beta readers really knew what they were getting themselves into. This question, what additional info would you like applicants to include in their application message? Every single reader that wants to read your beta copy has to apply to read it, and so you're able to approve or deny everybody that wants access to your book. This is really cool because you have full control over everyone who gets to read your book. And then the people that I communicated with on TikTok, if I sent them the link, they'd have to apply to read it, and then I could approve their application. So in order for them to apply, they have to answer a question. This is just the question that you want to ask them. So because I had already communicated with them on TikTok, I knew all these people that I was sending the book out to. I made this a fun question for their application. Then you get to choose your default reader access expiration, so you get to choose when people will lose access to this link to read the book. I gave people 6 weeks because my book's 150,000 words. And then you put in critique guidance. So critique guidance is the questionnaire that's going to appear at the end of every chapter of your beta read. So if you want questions that will appear across every single chapter, you would put them in here. So, how are you feeling about XYZ character? How are you feeling about the pacing? Are there any times that you got bored or checked out? You also have the option of including chapter-specific questions, but we'll talk about that in just a second. These are the ones that will appear across the board for every chapter. So once you're ready, you will click Create. I'm going to click Cancel because I don't want to create that book. I'm going to pretend I just created this book, which is the book that I created a week ago. This is the book that I sent out to beta readers.
Editing Claire jumping in here. I just wanted to show you exactly what it looks like for beta readers when they open the page, just so you could see the blurb and the content warnings and the tropes and everything that I put in here.
The next thing you would do after uploading a copy, like in Add Beta Copy, would be to go to your contents and annotations and upload your chapters. So for me, I went in and I followed the instructions. They have a really great step-by-step tutorial on this website that will walk you through exactly what you have to do in every single step to set up your beta copy. So I'm going to link that in the description of this video if you want a more granular explanation, but I'm just going to share with you what it looks like to actually be working in this program. The way that this works is essentially readers are taken to a page that looks like this. I requested a copy of my own book so that I could see what it looked like. They get to see all of your chapters, how long the chapters are, and then in order to read the next one, they have to read, you have to read prologue to unlock chapter 1. Then you have to read chapter 1 to unlock chapter 2, then read chapter 2 to unlock chapter 3. And you progress like that through the entire book. You can't just skip to the end and read the ending. You need to work through the entire thing in order to get there. So going back to the author dashboard, now what you can do once you've uploaded all your chapters is you can decide, you put in your overall beta reading questionnaire. When you set up the project, you put that under critique guidance. But what I did, because I had some chapters where I had specific questions, I had things that I was unsure about, insecurities about the chapters maybe that I thought that I would consider cutting, that I wanted to get rid of. I would click edit, and then I would put my chapter specific question in that box. So this is, what's your impression of Eden after reading this chapter and why? This is my main character. I wanted to know if I set her up right and if people got a good sense for who she was and if they liked her or if they found her annoying at the end of chapter 1 and why. So if everybody found her annoying, I could do something about that because I want her to be sympathetic and likable, and I want people to enjoy spending time in her head. So once you go through, you can add all of your chapter specific questions. Then what you can do is you can add questionnaires. So these are little questions that you can sprinkle into the order of your chapters that people have to answer in order to continue reading. So I thought about my biggest insecurities for this book, questions that I needed answered, things that I wanted guidance on, and then I made those questionnaires and then put them in the middle. So in order for people to reach chapter 7, they have to answer my question about world building. So when I wrote that, I created a new questionnaire, and then I wrote this in the box, and then I put that in the middle of the chapter, and now people have to answer it. So then now I get responses to that question in order for people to continue on to the next ones. So I went through and I put a bunch of those in. The way that you can do it is you go to the bottom, you say add questionnaire, and then you click reorder, and then you can pick which order you want it to be in. So this is order 67, so if I wanted overall thoughts to be up here, I'd click 64, or I'd click reorder, say 64, and then this would go up there above. Once I had set all of that up, the way that I invited beta readers is by clicking share link, copying this link, and emailing it out to my beta readers. I used Google Groups to organize my team of beta readers. Google Groups has been a giant pain in my butt, but I think any email service would have been a pain in the butt. I needed to collect people's emails because I didn't want to individually message 200 people with the beta reading link because it was just going to be too much. Up here, these are the links to the video tutorials. Like, they make it really easy to go and find the tutorials if you have any questions about how anything works. So now, I have a couple things that I can do, and this is what makes this program really cool. If I click View Readers, I get to see every single reader that has applied and been accepted to read my book, if they have access to it, when their access expires, and then how far into the book they have read. So these people haven't started the book yet, but down here, like this reader has gotten all the way to the end of the book, and she finished it today. If a reader reaches out and is like, hey, November 15th is way too soon, like I'm not gonna be able to finish it by then, all I would have to do is click edit and pick which date it would expire for that particular reader. I can change the rule across the board in the other window, but here I have the ability to change it for every single reader. If someone starts reading, like leaving really aggressive comments, if someone, like, I don't know what situation would require me to do this, but if I had to turn off someone's access for any reason, all it would take was me doing that. This allows me to see their email address, so if I need to email them directly about anything, I could just click email and email them. And also if somebody requests to read, their request would show up here. So it's really easy. I just click accept or deny. Then I get to go to this view, which you've already seen, but we're going to talk a little bit about comments now. This is where I can see every single person's response to my chapter. And I can toggle through every single chapter in my book and see how many people have left comments. It's only been a week since I sent this out, so most people have not reached the end. A lot of people haven't even started the book yet. But once I have like 200 responses to all of these different things, it's going to make it really easy for me to see everyone's comments in one place. Because what I have to do is I would click on this and I get everybody's inline comments in the same place. So when I'm editing it, if people leave highlighted comments, I can see them all in the same spot, and I'll have this window up on one side of the screen and my working document on the other side, and I can read everyone's comments. Like, people can say, you know, this is odd phrasing. People can leave suggestions. People can leave reactions, which are really fun for me to read. It gives me a little boost of serotonin every time I get like someone who comments on the book. And then I can go down here and see every response that someone had left on the book, and they're loaded in order. So I have this many responses so far. It's going to be even more populated once I have 200 people who have read it, but it's super awesome because people will leave me really detailed feedback and answer my questions. It forces readers to rate your chapter on a scale of 1 to 5 and also rate how excited they are to continue the story. And it will keep these gray unless it dips underneath a score of 3 out of 5. So if it's a 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5, then it will be bold and red or bold and yellow. So I can see whether, like, kind of gauge from a bird's eye perspective whether people are interested or not in a specific chapter or scene. Like, already seeing I have 47 inline comments for chapter 1 is super exciting, because now I have all of these comments that I'm going to be able to go through once I'm ready to be editing this book. I'm not digging into any of these comments until everyone's comments are in. The only thing that I find it very hard to stop myself from doing is to scroll down and check for people's responses to my favorite chapters, because I have favorite chapters in this book, and I'm just so tickled to see people's reactions, like to have people come in and like be really mad about something or be like really excited about something. So I will check that just for fun. It's really hard not to, because I've spent 6 months with this book in my head, and everyone's telling me that I have to not look at the comments and not read the comments and not take the comments on until all of them are there. But it's hard because all I do is think about this book, and I'm going through a really big withdrawal because I'm not used to not being able to work on it, and I'm just so excited to see what people think. And it's just, now I have 200 friends that are going to be in this world with me, and so I'm currently learning that I have zero self-control. But anyway, that is a very quick overview of the StoryOrigin beta reading feature. I freaking love it. It's amazing. I don't know what I would be doing without this. This is saving my sanity, and I highly recommend using something like this. Even if I had a much smaller beta reading team for this book, even if I still did have 10 beta readers, this has made the process so much more helpful because I can actually see people's inline comments. It used to be really hard for me to, even when I had 10 beta readers, go through 10 different Word documents and try to combine all those, and then sometimes inline comments would get lost, which is frustrating because people spend time making those inline comments and they are very useful. It's just a lot of work to try to pull them all together, and it's hard to keep track of where all of them are. But this just makes it super easy across the board for me. But you also have to find readers that are willing to read like on a computer or on a phone. So it's a trade-off, but I highly recommend it. And if you want a more in-depth tutorial, I have linked the one that StoryOrigin made in the description of this video. This is just a very broad overview and a very enthusiastic recommendation because this program is amazing and is helping me so much right now. But yeah, I hope that video was helpful to you. If you have a second, I'd be super grateful if you could give it a like and also subscribe to my channel. My name is Claire Fraze, and I'm an award-winning author who makes videos sharing actionable writing tips that helped me make my own writing better. I'm the author of the 5-book paranormal thriller They Stay series, and my book They Stay won the grand prize at the 2023 Writer's Digest Self-Published Book Awards, which I'm very proud of it for. And I am beyond excited to get this new book out to readers because the response has been pretty positive so far, and it just makes me giddy. I absolutely cannot wait for this book to be out there, because that also means that I get to write a book too. If you have any questions about how I'm using StoryOrigin or how it works or what is possible on it, if you do, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. I might not know the answers, but I will try, or I will direct you to someone who can. I hope you have a good week, everyone, and as always, happy writing.